Hi all, and welcome to Rogue's first unboxing and review. We've got a few items here we're going to do. We're mainly going to deal with storage and batteries today. First thing I'd like to review is this Seagate 2TB external USB-3 hard drive. First off, I'd like to point out that these actual drives come with a 2-year warranty from Seagate. Let's have a look inside. Looks to me at the top as if they're providing power, some information or a manual, warranty card, probably detailing the 2 years for this country and what the other countries are, and the drive itself. Let's pop the drive out and see what we've got. Looks reasonably well packaged to me. Here's the drive itself. And looks like just some more packaging in the bottom. Now, on this particular drive itself, got a DC input, and what looks like to me, hopefully you can see that, doesn't look like an exact standard USB connection there for me, which I'm a little bit disappointed about. I've actually purchased 2 of these, so I have 4TB in Seagate external boxes. Now, looking at the connection, what I was saying about it doesn't look standard. You've got your standard USB 3 connection there, plugs into your computer. Now what plugs into the Seagate drive itself is this. I personally would have preferred a standard A to B USB 3 cable, i.e. such as a printer cable. It just makes it a little bit easier to basically plug any cable in and not have to worry about replacing this. If you guys have got any feedback on what you think about these cables, please do add them to the comments. What I do like about this is what they've done with the power. Standard external power, and compared to some of the other external boxes I've purchased in the past, I actually really like this design. As you can see, it's pretty small, probably about 2 inches. If you look on the back here, you've actually got nothing to actually plug it into, so you pop this little bit here, and what we've got is we've actually got a 2-pin connection there. And what they've done really nicely is, first off, they've supplied you with a 3-pin power adapter, even though the earth plug doesn't actually do anything there. It's not actually earthing anything at all. 2 connections on the back. So basically, pop into there. So there you go, that's your connection plugged in. Also, they provide you with a 2-pin European plug. Looking at the details here, I don't know if you're able to read that properly, but I can tell you it is multi-voltage. Input 100 to 240 volts at 50/60 Hertz, and it looks like the maximum output on this is 0.6 amps, 12 volt, 1.5 amps. So this to me looks like a switching adapter, so you could potentially use this abroad as well as in this country, which is pretty good because it means that Seagate just package one adapter with a couple of different brackets, so you can plug it in literally hopefully anywhere across the world and shouldn't have any problems to access your data. what I'd also like to show you is the difference in size between this external 2TB drive, but I've also purchased an internal 2TB drive. So what I've actually got here, 2 terabytes external, and this here is 2 terabytes internal. Now looking at the size of this, I would say there's probably about 1 inch to 1.5 inches difference in height here. So as you could imagine, 3.5 drive inside, it doesn't leave much space for cabling at the bottom. And if we also have a look here, you can see metal heat sinks, no on and off switch, and I believe this has no fan internally, so it's relying on the heat sinks to actually cool the drives, but there are quite a lot of air holes, so as long as your room or where you're storing it isn't too hot, I don't believe heat will be a problem. You may wonder why got internal 2 terabytes, external 2 terabytes. I've actually purchased 2 of these. Why I'm buying all this amount of storage space? Well, the reason being is, in my current PC at the moment, I have 2 500 gig Seagates that are close to 5 to 6 years old. I've got a 1 terabyte F1 Samsung and 2 1.5 terabyte F2 Samsungs with 5900 rotational speed. The Seagates that are the 500 gig, I believe one of them is potentially giving up the ghost. It's a little bit slow to respond, and one of my 1.5 terabyte Samsungs, which are now 3 years old, has basically reported some smart error and some bad clusters. So as with anything, you've got data, back it up, and that's why I bought 2 terabytes externals, so I can have 2 copies of that data, but also allows me easily to move data from one computer to another, even if it's not here. I can take it to a friend's, I can take it to work. And you know, most computers have USB, even if it's a matter of plugging it into an old USB 2 connection, which quite frankly are really, really slow. I've actually got 2 500 gig externals USB 2s, a 320 gig, and a 250 gig, all in Seagate caddies and different manufacturers of drives in them. I've got a couple of Hitachis, Seagate and Maxell. Speed wise, I've actually got this one upstairs, its brother, actually transferring 250 gig, and on USB 3 it estimates about an hour. On USB 2, transfer rates were anything from 5 to 20 megaseconds. The USB 3 is transferring at a constant 60 at the moment. So as you can see, it's a minimum of 3 times faster and more. I was potentially looking for a drive with SATA as well, but USB 3 seems to be a little bit more universal, even though SATA probably would have potentially transferred a little bit faster. Price wise, I bought these from eBuyer. This particular external box is actually priced at £68. It comes with a 2-year warranty, obviously power and the cable and the casing. This particular drive here from eBuy, again, same size, 2 terabytes, costs £73. So it's actually £5 cheaper to buy one of these than it is one of these. I believe also the warranty for Seagate, I haven't actually done the warranty checker on this drive yet. I've got to go upstairs and check that. With their OEM drives, 1 year. Seagate used to offer 5 years, but since the Thailand floods, you've basically got two manufacturers now, Western Digital and Seagate. Effectively, they've bought out virtually everything else. Both of them have reduced their warranties. I've used many Seagate drives in the past, very rarely had problems with them. They tend to last quite long, and that's why I stuck with Seagate rather than Western Digital. I must admit I was looking at a Western Digital Red, quite a little bit more money. They were about £85 to £90 with shipping. eBuy didn't have any, Dabs had some, and Scan had some. The Reds are designed basically for 24/7 operation. I don't usually use my PCs for that, but I do use them pretty long. Sometimes they're on the whole day. I would say, I would at least use them 4 to 5 hours a day minimum when I'm at home. As I say, Western Digital do offer slightly better warranties, and I've had a few failures with Western Digital drives, but it's like any manufacturer. Sometimes you're going to get lemons, sometimes you're going to get strawberries, and it's just a matter of luck of the draw. You either get a good drive or you don't. I had a look at some review sites to see performance, and these drives have pretty good performance, but also I had a look at sites over here, customer feedback, and also in America I looked at Newegg to see what the feedback was, and typically the Western Digital drives were getting 3.5, maybe 4 eggs. Seagates were getting 3 to 4 eggs as well. So I decided to go with Seagate because their price was slightly cheaper, even though the warranty was slightly better with Western Digital. I'm going to go upstairs and plug these in now and check the speed and the warranty and see how my data's going. I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this, and please leave your feedback in the comments. Thank you.